Hi guys, just me, I'm back. Don't mind me, I have a frog in my throat today that it doesn't want to like leave me. Hello, I should look up here, right? Sorry, I'm kind of talking a bit quiet. You might want to turn up the volume on this one because we're back at my mom and dad's, and mom's still in the hospital, and it's our turn to be with dad. So, and he's sleeping, so I'm trying to be quiet, but anyway, he's resting comfortably. So this video is one that I've wanted to make for a really long time. There's several that I've wanted to make for a really long time. And this one is about my passion for riding and horses, and the fact that I have been riding my whole life. Well, with intermittent spurts, I rode like all the time as a kid. And I had my own horse, and all my friends had their own horses, and we rode a lot. I'm a country kid. I grew up in Muskoka, right? So then when I was, about 17, 18 years old, when I graduated high school, then I left to move down to the city, and didn't ride for years, many years. And then my daughter and I found a stable that was a little bit outside the city that was more like reasonable. Well, it was a beautiful, beautiful stable. Oh my God, their trails were just something else. Through the woods, oh, it was just absolutely stunning. But it was really expensive. And then there was a point in time, someone's car alarm's going off. There was a time that things changed for, I think it was riding stables and mini golf courses, or I don't remember. There was something to do, it was an insurance thing. So it was costing so much money for people for insurance to own and operate a riding stable that a lot of stables started closing up, or they started charging through the nose, like really, really expensive. And I think the stable that I rode at at that time with my daughter ended up being $80 for an hour. And it was kind of not fair because when you had to call ahead to, book. When you got there, your animal was already outside. They were kind of halfway through, tacking up. So by the time they got your horse tacked up, they started counting the hour when you pulled in the driveway, right? So I think they kind of almost did that on purpose, really, because honest to God, for the amount of time that you were actually on the horse and riding, you probably, for $80, you might have gotten maybe 35 minutes out of it, which was, I thought, pretty much a ripoff. But that being said, I'm at a barn, and all I can smell is horse and horse shit and leather and hay and barn and heaven, right? So I didn't really care. Here, I'll give you $1 million. Just, let me hang out here. So anyway, so we rode there a bit, but it was really expensive, and just, I was a single mom and 3 kids and stuff, so we didn't really get a whole lot of riding in. So then when we moved up north to where we live now, there was a stable about a half an hour away that was quite inexpensive actually, but not really safe. The guy that owned it was a bit of a, well, not a bit of a whole lot of a alcoholic, and nothing was run to code, and yeah, it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild, but I could go out there and go riding quite inexpensively, quite cheaply. And he actually asked me, sorry about that, guys, I always do that. Why do I not, adjust the camera from here? No, I gotta do this and cover the lens like a moron. Anyway, there was even a couple of times when I had gone out there to ride, and whoever was meant to be working that day hadn't showed up or whatever, and he said to me, do you want to take a ride out for me, because I got like a whole crowd from Toronto coming up. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, I did it again. So yeah, I took a couple rides out and stuff, and he said, just, you just ride for free. He used to let my husband and I go out, and he didn't care. He was drunk. He didn't give a shit. He'd say, hey, pick whatever horses you want. You can be gone all day. I don't give a crap. Give me 25 bucks each. Right? So that worked for a while. But then He had an accident while at the barn, and probably, I'm quite certain, well under the influence of alcohol, and actually injured himself quite severely. I don't even know today if this gentleman's alive or not, but that kind of shut down the stable. So for, gosh, I don't know, another 3 or 4 or 5 years, I didn't ride at all. And then, through the good graces of my friend Kim McLean, and I can say her name because I have asked her express permission. She has horses. Her dad has a farm. I'm not going to give like exact locations or anything like that, but through the good graces of her, I started riding quite regularly again, and that's where I know I said this in an earlier video, and I know I'm repeating myself, but there was a specific horse that I mostly rode when I was there. His name was Pharaoh. He was a standard bred gelding. He was my baby. It was her baby, but he was my baby. And oh God, I gotta quit doing that. At one point in time, she started talking about, how she was gonna have to sort of downsize because she had too many horses, and it's not cheap to own a horse. I mean, just farrier fees every 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks is $30, and if it's a heavy horse, and I will show you pictures of her heavy horse Sly, who was and would still be, if I was still going, my absolute baby. Like all heavies, he's just a big, gentle, sweet, dumb giant. Not dumb, he's not dumb, but you know what I mean. He's just like, okay. He's an absolute doll, and riding him is like riding a couch. I'm gonna be inserting pictures here, so but anyways, Pharaoh was my boy, and she was talking about downsizing, and nothing was like, no money had exchanged hands, and no, there certainly was nothing definite happening. But I was in the process of working out how I was going to manage to do this, because I worked full time. My husband worked full time. This was in the life before this, right? So, yeah, so I had spoken to her dad about what he was going to charge me for boarding fees. I had spoken to a friend of mine, one of my closest friends, whose husband is a farrier, and spoken to him about farrier fees. The only thing I hadn't done was called our vet. They're a husband and wife team, and they're absolutely amazing, and I know that the wife half of the team is quite the equine vet expert. So she would be able to give me, more of an idea on, his vaccinations and what he would need for this and what he would need for that. And so again, just trying to figure out money-wise, not just purchasing him, because, I think Kimmy and I could have worked it out. And I think we did talk about this at one point in time about, well, how much can I give you off of each paycheck? We worked in the same place. We worked together. That's how we knew each other. How much money can I give you off of each paycheck, until he's paid off? And yeah, he was my boy. And, I miss it. And she has offered me so many times. We just talked the other day, actually, just online. Bless her heart, God love her. She said, Kelly, you're welcome anytime, you know that. You're welcome anytime to come out to the barn, and see the horses. Pharaoh is gone. She had to downsize. I mean, it's expensive. I mean, she can't. It broke her heart to let him go, and I think she was so happy with the idea that I would be buying him, and he would thereby be staying right where he was. She'd see him every day. He was going to be staying right there at her dad's farm. He wasn't leaving, wasn't going anywhere. And she did sell him to a couple somewhere in Niagara region, I believe, and she said that he did get a really good home. I think I've said this to you before, and I'm repeating myself, of course. He did get a really, really good home, and that she gets regular updates from them and pictures on Facebook and everything else. So I am so, so happy that she found him a really, really good forever home, and that somebody is treating him like their baby, as he should be, but he was supposed to be mine. So, she has invited me out to the farm, I don't know how many times, and said, just come out, just hang out, hang out with the horses. Just maybe you can do a wee bit of grooming if you can just, grab a brush and do some grooming. I know you can't, bend down and pick up feet. I know you can't ride, obviously. I she even offered, they were doing like, I can't remember if it was a hay ride or a sleigh ride in the winter. I can't remember, for me to come along on that, and at least then I would be close to the horses and I'd be able to smell them. And I said to her that my neck and my spine and my tailbone and all the other injuries and the fibromyalgia and the blah, 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 all this shit that's developed out of this car accident, that I wouldn't be able to take the bumpity, you know what I mean, sort of ride. I wouldn't be able to take it. And I would literally have to ask them halfway through the ride to stop. And I'd have to get off and walk. And then I don't know how I'd walk that far, because I wouldn't be able to walk that, like if we were way out in the, gone a mile from the barn or whatever. But so, she does keep offering me to come out, and I want to go. There's a part of me that's like, okay, let's go, right this very second, jump in the car, boom, go. But it's like, and I hate to use this comparison because nobody should be saying the word fat anymore. That's not nice, at all. But it's just an expression, so please, nobody take offense to this. But it's like taking a fat kid into a candy store, right? We all know that expression. That's rude. That sounds terrible. But, okay, how about we take a thirsty man to a great big barrel full of nice, fresh, clean spring water, and this man is on the point of dying from dehydration, and tell him, oh, look at that lovely, cool water, and it tastes so good, but you can't drink any of it. You can't touch it, you can't drink it, you can't taste it, you can't smell it, you can't satisfy your thirst. You just have to stand here and look at it. So, I can't. I really, really can't. It's just, it's too difficult for me to be there, to be at the barn, to smell the horses, to smell the barn, to smell the hay, to smell the straw, to smell the horse shit, to smell the leather. Anybody who's horsey out there is going to get this. It's just the smell of horse and the smell of barn. It's just home to me. And because of this accident, that was all taken away, and it's too hard on me emotionally like, I could stand there physically and look at the horses, but I would probably just stand there and bawl like a baby, because I know that I can't get on that horse. I can't ride that horse. And yeah. So anyway, here I am bawling again. God, I am so good at ugly crying on YouTube. What a dork. Oh, man. But anyways, sorry I got emotional there, guys, but this is a really emotional point for me. So, yeah, so I'm going to be inserting some pictures into this video, and I really hope you guys enjoy the pictures. And this is in the life before this, and this is one of my passions that maybe one day, I mean, my coccyx was broken, my tailbone, in the accident, and I don't know that I will ever be able to ride again. There's pictures of me riding Big Sly bareback. Well, you'll see them. I don't know that I'll ever be able to ride again. Please God, one day I will. I don't know. I don't know. So, but anyhow, enjoy these pictures as much as I do. I treasure them. Every time I look at them, they make me cry. But I do treasure them so greatly, and I want to say here out loud for everyone to hear that I will be grateful to Kim McLean for the rest of my life for allowing me that opportunity to ride on a regular basis. Neither one of us, nobody knew, what was coming, what was going to happen to me, and at least in like, I don't know what, the year, I guess, maybe a bit longer. Yeah, probably about a year and a half. Leading up to the accident, I did ride on a regular basis pretty much. So I will be grateful to Kim for the rest of my life for that, because that may have been the last time that I will ever ride. I mean, I'm 53 years old at the end of this month, but if I could ride, if I was physically capable, you watch my ass. I'd be on a horse so goddamn fast, you wouldn't be able to get me off of it. The horse would probably die of exhaustion underneath me because I wouldn't want to get off. But anyway, enjoy the pictures. I keep saying that. I keep babbling. And I love you all. Please don't forget, subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it. Comment. Please comment. I want everybody to comment. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, because the thumbs up is what counts. Subscribe, hit the little bell icon beside it so you don't miss anything. And I will see you in my next video. Love you guys. Bye-bye.